Welcome back. The volume picture is telling you that maybe most of the expiry work is done and you should not expect that 3 p.m. move, but then you never know. A couple of stocks that stand out. One is Wipro. If you see the intraday chart, Wipro has seen a bit of a pickup towards the end. So that stock now doing rather well in trade. And the other is Yes Bank, which has actually done the reverse. If you see the intraday chart of Yes Bank, that stock is now seeing a bit of a decline towards the end. So this really is the expiry factor playing out in a couple of individual names. But Siddharth Bhamre of Angel Broking now joins us ahead of this expiry. Then Siddharth, good afternoon. So any 3 p.m. trade left, or you think most of this is out already between say Monday till Wednesday?
Good afternoon, Anuj. Tuesday afternoon when markets were falling, we were talking that what is to be done. And that time we mentioned that, this is not a one-way fall which is going to happen. And a short strangle of 77 put and 79 call, which was fetching somewhere around 45-50 rupees premium. I think that is nearing zero now. So that was the strategy. Today morning also strategy would have been looking at the action that 78 put and 79 call should have been returned to pocket in the premium. Why we did this strategies were because and I have been pointing this out, the entire built up in September series was never kept in mind was never built up by keeping in mind about expiry. All the built up was happened because of what is happening in China, what Fed would do. So none of the built up which has happened is going to influence what will happen on expiry. So I don't expect any huge movement. There might be 20-30 points movement here and there. 7900 would be resistance and may not be breached. But I don't expect a huge moment or anybody can make big money in last half an hour in today's expiry. So it's going to be a dull expiry.
Okay, so that's going to be a dull expiry the last half an hour. But what about the October series, Siddharth? What is the initial, trend that you're picking up on what the floor and the ceiling for the October series could look like?
Hi, Sonia. So the resistance level are clearly visible, which is around 8,050, 8,100, and that resistance level is in the optimistic scenario if RBI cuts interest rates by say 50 basis point. Still that level would remain as resistance for market. What we are clearly observing is look at the short positions formed by FIIs both in Nifty and Bank Nifty and the rollovers. So most of the analysts have been rightly pointing out that the rollers have already been done and that's the reason you are not seeing any action. But these rollovers are short rollovers. So I think it would be quite a challenging task for market to breach that resistance of 8050, 8100 in October series. Whereas support is not visible and it is quite likely we might revisit the lows of September series again in initial part of October series. So we remain negative. The only event which we are looking forward to short this market at higher levels, again carrying forward the point of Tuesday, that if the rise would come if there is a 50 basis point reduction in interest rates by RBI, that would be an opportune time to again short this market. So I think there's only one way we are heading in October series initial part, and that is down.
Okay, that's an interesting bit, Siddharth, because policy is right at the start of the series this time round on Tuesday. That is a scenario you spoke about on a possible 50 basis point rate cut. Let's take the other extreme, which is there's no rate cut. In that case, what kind of market levels will you work with?
So in either case, we are going down, Anuj. Just like the Fed thing, if Fed would have increased interest rate, then also market would find out reason to go down, because already there is global slowdown and hike in interest rates would have further accentuated the problem. And now we are talking exactly what we spoke before, that if Fed has not increased interest rate, that means they are acknowledging the slowdown. Similarly, in our market, even if there is no rate cut, then people will say, okay, anyways, economy is going through such a bad time. RBI governor, a lot of people have started giving yarn to RBI governor now on the social media, and now they will start talking that why there would be further accentuation of the slowdown in our markets as well. So in either case, I see that whether interest rates are declined or not declined, this market is heading down. Point is whether we will get that blip. So I am actually waiting for that blip to happen so that aggressive shorts can be done. If somebody doesn't want to play on that event, he has to be a very big positional trader, he has to short at current levels, have a stop loss somewhere around 8150, 8200, which is around 300 point stop loss I'm talking about, and have around 400, 500 points target. So if you don't want to take event risk and miss out on the fall, then even that kind of positions can be initiated now. But then stop loss are quite huge.
Okay. Siddharth, let's talk about some stocks now. Since you are advising to short this market on every rally, one space that has been under pressure this series is the capital goods space. So, BHEL is down 15% for the series. L&T is down almost 10%. Is there any fresh shorting opportunity in the capital goods sector?
So both these names, if you recall on Tuesday, we suggested to short L&T in morning, and reason being that despite bounce in market, L&T was not bouncing significantly, and we saw formation of strong short positions in L&T. I feel there is substantial downside from current levels also in L&T, and that stock may continue to remain under pressure. So even in last couple of days, if you see markets have bounced or are in a flattish terrain, L&T is seeing continuous formation of short position and negative price action, and I think that should continue for some more time. I'm expecting 1300, 1320 levels in L&T. BHEL is near very strong support of 195, 200. There may not be some bounce, but ultimately even this stock after bounce or without bounce is probably heading towards 180, 185 odd levels. So I am not expecting positive movements in these stocks. They would be under pressure. Private sector banks is interesting to short at higher levels. That is something which we are keeping close eye on.
So there are three stocks which have in this series made a move, remarkably swift move back towards their all-time highs, not 52-week highs rather, not quite there yet, but almost there. One is Maruti Suzuki, which is at 4600 again. The other is Infosys, and finally Lupin. Your call on these three names.
So Infosys, we have been optimistic. In fact, IT sector, Infosys and Wipro, we are strongly suggesting. And today also, if you see, it took IT sector to go up by 2% to make expiry a flat expiry. If that wouldn't have been the case, I'm sure market would have been slightly negative from current levels. So Wipro and Infi still remains buy. We are seeing formation of long positions, especially in Wipro. Rollovers are also good, and most of the positions formed in Wipro are long formation. So it's looking good. There is a clear breakout in Wipro above this resistance of 575, 580 zone, and stock is moving up. So there we have recommended to our clients. Infi may not be having significant target from current levels, but may not correct as such. So IT, I'm positive. Lupin, you mentioned. More than Lupin, we were liking Sun Pharma, that has moved. Pharma would remain in a range. It's buy on dips, sell on rise. Both can be done in pharma, but I would stick to buy on dips in pharma. So these names are safer names to be in this kind of market. But if you look at other high beta spaces like capital goods you mentioned, banking you mentioned, I think these stocks would be under tremendous pressure in October series as well.
Okay, well, before we take next question, just the clock has turned 3, so if any move has to happen, it has to happen in the next 30 or 40 seconds, and let's watch out for any stocks which are seeing expiry related moves. We've spoken about Wipro. If you see the intraday chart of Wipro, that would again come up for you, and Yes Bank. These were the two stocks where we had seen some moves. BHEL is the other one where you got to keep an eye on, so that stock as well will be interesting to watch out for. As of now, the market is clearly indicating that the expiry factor is done, and it's not going to make a move either towards 7900 or back towards 7800. It does look like for now the expiry should be somewhere around that 7850 to 7870 mark where we are right now. So as Siddharth pointed out, Sonia may be prepared for a bit of a dull expiry. This market has given enough indication for that.
Oh yes, we are prepared because it's been dull so far, so we don't expect much in the next half an hour. But Siddharth, just wanted to ask you, you mentioned that private banks are very interesting now. So for the next series, do you expect more pressure on private banks, and how would you trade some of these names? Because it's not been such a bad series for names like IndusInd and Yes Bank. They're both up about 5 to 10% this series.
Yeah, so it has not been bad series for market also. If you look at markets have been flat, but we have seen the volatility, and same with banks. The very clear-cut data which is pointing out in one of the large cap and private sector banks is ICICI Bank. The bounce from 245, 250 levels to 275, 280, we didn't see any formation of long positions, and there was little bit of short covering, mind you. And now when stock has again started correcting from 278, 280 odd levels, we are seeing huge formation of short positions over here. So this is one stock we are expecting that would probably go down to the lows which it recently made, and probably below those levels. One of my technical guy, he was pointing out how Yes Bank is seeing a lot of cash-based selling pressure, and even in FNO we are seeing formation of short positions. Yeah. Though Yes Bank is not a heavyweight among the private space, even HDFC Bank is finding difficult to move above its strong resistance of 1040, 1050, and has seen formation of short positions over there. So now these stocks are correcting. If there is a rate cut which comes, there would be a blip. It may come back to again these resistance level, and sure. It can give a shorting opportunity. So we are negative on private sector banks, but caveat over here is don't short right now, or if you're shorting right now, then you need to have a very big stop loss.
All right. Individual stocks are now moving big time. Let's pull out the intraday chart of PTC. Now that is the expiry factor playing out. It's playing out on 3 or 4 stocks. So I'll just quickly go through the list. First, let's pull out PTC. That's really been the stock that stands out. It's a vertical decline now on PTC. I think the previous chart explained it better. Let's get back to that. Yeah. So 4.5% lower, purely between 3 to 303. The other is JP Power, Jaiprakash Power. That stock also between 3 to 3 p.m. has seen a 2% downtick move. Motherson Sumi, again intraday chart. The stock has been doing well through the day, but the expiry factor is now playing out in Motherson Sumi. Look at that. As we speak, the stock is seeing a bit of a vertical downtick now. Has fallen 2% between 3 to 303. So it was up 4% when we started the show. It's now up only 2% right now. On the other hand, you have an MTech Auto. See the intraday chart of that one. That stock is now up about close to 2%. So the expiry move has not come on the Nifty, but it's clearly come on individual names. Siddharth, a word on PTC. That's clearly been the expiry move today.
No, Anuj, I'm not tracking very closely, but one of the stock which I identified, I don't know whether it moved or not, my screen is not functioning. HUL has seen very less rollovers and have seen decline in open interest. So it's very light. So probably some action, I don't know whether it's happening over there or not. Dr. Reddy's is one stock where open interest is quite light. Ambuja Cement has added huge amount of open interest in last series, almost doubled. That is also one stock where you can see some action.
Okay, Exide and Crompton, I believe, are 2 stocks which have also moved. That's what we have been told. So let's pull out the intraday chart of both these names. That's Exide. Wow, look at that. That's again an FNO stock, Sonia, making a big move. And Crompton was the other one that Prakran told us. So let's pull out the intraday chart of that as well. Wow, look at that. Almost at high point of the day. That's the 3 p.m. move. It takes place between 3 to 3:10 in individual names. It normally takes place in the Nifty as well, but this time it's been reserved only for 5 or 6 stocks.
Okay, so big moves coming in there. Look at the way Crompton is moving now, almost 1.5% higher, and all this in the last 5-6 minutes itself. So it's getting very interesting here in this last half an hour of trade. But Siddharth, any other mid-cap names that catch your eye that are good for for a slightly medium-term view, not the next couple of days, but perhaps for the series?
Sonia, I don't remember when in expiry last half an hour we have discussed mid-cap stocks giving you expiry related moves. So it clearly shows that this expiry was all about global moves and nothing to do with domestic. That's the reason you are seeing dull expiry. As far as mid-cap goes, I would coincide my broader market view, which is negative, and in this kind of market I won't venture out into buying mid cap. So there would be some ideas here and there where you can make some returns on a flattish day, but in larger scheme of things, from expiry to expiry perspective, I will shy away from mentioning any names.
Okay, Crompton now is surging big time. In fact, it's gained 4% between 3 to 3.5 p.m. Crompton Greaves, again the stock, we spoke about it earlier, but now it's again at the high point of the day. In fact, In this series, it's now flattened out. Through that series, it was a flat move, and all of a sudden, now we are seeing a big move. 1.3% higher, but it was down about close to 3%. So it's recovered nearly 4% intraday. Let's also put out BHEL intraday, and that stock has also moved. I would also like to see what's what's been the move on Wockhardt, because that also normally moves at times of expiry. So 3 p.m. move on Wockhardt is also a possibility. So yeah, that's the one where we have seen a bit of a downtrend.
You should also look at the intraday chart of Godrej, Anuj. There's a sudden move that we are seeing in Godrej. So 3% higher now on that particular chart, just in the last 4-5 minutes. And SAIL is another one. Of course, SAIL has been on a bit of an uptrend through the day, but in the last 10-15 minutes, there's been a sudden spike up that we've seen in SAIL as well.
All right. So Siddharth, final thoughts then. You spoke about Nifty, Bank Nifty, and a couple of other names. But in terms of your top 3 shorts or top 3 longs for the October series?
I don't have any longs for October series.
Okay.
That would,
so give us top 6 shorts then.
Top 3 shorts again,
top 6 shorts. 6 stocks.
Top 6.
Yes.
I would restrict, to 3 only, Anuj. Nifty, Bank Nifty, more than Nifty, it is Bank Nifty which I feel would underperform, because last 1 week Bank Nifty has been outperforming. L&T we spoke, ICICI Bank we spoke about that. Yes Bank is one more shorting candidate. So these are the names. There may be a lot of other names, but when market is going down and your view is negative, it is always advisable that you restrict your shorting to index and few large cap stocks rather than shorting mid caps or large number of stocks. So lesser the better in falling market.
Right, so that point taken. Thanks a lot for your time today and talking to us at what might have been a busy hour for you. But for the market, there's some more stocks which are moving. BEL, I believe.